I don't know what type of man, what kind of man can look upon Abigail and Libby to think to want to sexually assault and murder them. The only type of man that comes to my mind is a man that is deserving and worthy to be put down like the animal he is by any legal means necessary. This animal, this maniac, this psychopath will never admit to this crime. This maniac, this loco, this beast knows it has nothing to lose by fighting to the death. To admit to such a crime, you would have admitted to the world, your wife, your friends, your loved ones, to society, that you deserve whatever and however it comes to you. I will be honest with you, animal. If you are found and convicted, you will not live long. I do believe that you will take your own life because you are not built for what can and will befall you if you are found and convicted and sent to prison. When I read the probable cause affidavit, by the way, I expected the Honorable Judge Friend to have ruled as she has ruled. I already predicted that. How did I know that? Because that's the state of the law. And I knew that the probable cause affidavit was being sealed by the prosecutor to hide the fact that they really don't have a case against Richard Allen. Just hold on. I understand. Just hear me out. It costs you nothing to hear me out. When I read about this so-called unspent shell, I had to really think. I was puzzled by that. Because Richard Allen, since 2017, has been talking to law enforcement. Richard Allen has admitted being in that area around that time. He had, based on his probable cause affidavit, he admitted that he had a blue jacket and clothes just like the bridge guy. Why did they not arrest him back then based on that? You would think that that was enough, but they didn't. This brings me to this bullet, this spent shell. You know how you put the bullet in a gun and you don't really shoot it, you jack it back and it pop out? They said that that made a mark, and it makes a mark, but those are not definitive marks. The problem with that unspent shell, the problem with that, when we go back and look back in 2017, when Richard Allen was talking to law enforcement, I have to conclude that they asked Richard Allen, did he have a weapon? And they told him, and Richard Allen told him, yeah, I have a Sig Sauer P226. And if you're familiar with guns, you already know that this particular gun, based on the chamber, can use certain bullets. So you mean to tell me back in 2017 they constantly talking to Richard Allen, and you never asked this man? I'm not saying that they did, but I'm saying I'm trying to figure out why that you knew he had a gun. Excuse me. You knew he admitted to being there and had them clothes, the same clothes as the bridge guy. So you mean to tell me you never asked him, hey man, do you have a gun? I believe that they did. And he said yes. He said, I have a SIG Sawyer P226. And if that shell, that unspent casing was at the scene, why didn't law enforcement officers just ask, hey, can we see it? And then take a bullet and put it in there and say, hey, you mind if we put this bullet, check it back? They didn't do this. So that bullet to me is suspect. And I'm going to tell you why. When Nicole Robinson, the FBI agent that was working on the case with the Delphi police, when she took her probable cause affidavit to a different judge for Ronald Logan, she never mentioned a unspent shell being found at the scene. Go to her affidavit at paragraph 8. She mentions the hair fibers and some other fibers, but never an unspent shell. Now, I'm just going to be honest with you like this here. If Nicholas McLeland, in his probable cause affidavit, mentioned that, and it seems to be pretty significant, why wouldn't the FBI agent Nicole Robinson mention it in her probable cause affidavit for Ronald Logan? So when I look at the affidavit of the FBI agent along the side of Nicholas McLeland affidavit, the FBI agent is looking at Logan and saying that the witness's description matched Logan, and Nicholas McLeland is saying, the state prosecutor saying that the three witnesses believe it was, but none of them are definitive. They basically saying they just contradict each other. The prosecutor for the state saying it's Richard Allen, and the FBI was saying that it was Logan. And when you look at the FBI affidavit, she tried hard to put Logan there based on his cell phone, this and that. Just go look at that affidavit. And when you look at the FBI affidavit, as well as the state, at no point in time, and do they say that these victims were shot. And they weren't. I don't believe they were shot, because they never said that. So why, the question now, why are they hiding the manner of death? Here's why I think they are hiding that at the point. Because I believe that they was cut up, not shot, but cut up. And if you look at the affidavit of the FBI agent, that agent said it was a lot of blood. So if you take where they found Libby and Abby's body, there is no mention of blood being like in the area from dragging. So where are they getting the theory that they was killed somewhere else and brought there and staged? I don't know. But when I look at the fact that the police knew about Richard Allen then and knew he had a CXR P226, That wasn't enough to arrest him. So I'm trying to figure out at what point did this bullet come into play to where it's at the scene of the crime. Although the bullet is at the scene of the crime, they can't prove it was there on the day of the murder. They can't prove it was they can't prove that it was after the murder. We don't know. That's the problem with that. But the way I'm looking at it, on October, I believe the 13th, 2022, we leave in 2017. But even though they knew about Richard Allen, he had to close in 2017. Here it is. They do another interview, I believe, October the 13th, 2022, where they talk to him and his wife, Kathy Allen, and both of them agreed, and that Richard got those clothes and he got a gun. But they knew this back in 2017. And if you claim you didn't know this back in 2017, then you was incompetent for asking him. What are you talking to him about if you're not asking him, do he have a gun? Because he admitted being there, admitted having the same clothes. So after that, the conversation, after the interview, October the 13th, 2022, with Richard Allen and his wife, that's when they go get a probable cause search warrant to search his home and seize those clothes that look like the bridge guy as well as his guns. Now, all of a sudden, that shell casing matches his gun. It's something strange about that because it makes me think that you entered this house to get his gun for that purpose, and you probably see some more shells. You chambered it, and you're switching it out at the crime scene. Now, that's my opinion. That's what it's looking like to me, all right? Because lo and behold, they was concealing this case. And this is why I have a problem with this bullet, because you concealed this. You was trying to conceal this whole case. And that's a problem. And so now you mean to tell me in October the 13th, 2022, after talking to them, knowing the same thing you knew back in 2017, you get a search warrant to search his house. Well, why you didn't do that back in 2017? 2018. See, that's a problem, people. And when you really look at it for the way I'm looking at it, the FBI in her probable cause affidavit never mentioned that unspent shell. But yet, when she got the affidavit to search his home, she went for computer stuff, electronic stuff that had nothing to do with the crime scene. I can understand a cell phone, but you're talking about the man computers and floppy disks going beyond the scope. And when that search proved to be meaningless, they backed up off Logan, because they understood that Logan had a silver suit. Because when you look at what they sought to search, the judge should not have allowed them to search so deep, but they never found anything. So the FBI agent had to been stretching the story about Logan's cell phone locations. It came of nothing, people. So now you had the help of the FBI on this case. So you mean to tell me this Nicole Robinson, an FBI agent who's supposed to be a little bit better trained, a little bit better educated than the country boys, never talked to Richard Allen, or the police never conferred with the FBI agent about what Richard Allen was saying? Hey, man, do y'all see the problem with this case now? It don't add up. Now, like I said, I have never expressed an opinion about Richard Allen, and I don't have an opinion about him at this moment. Because, ladies and gentlemen, as I stated, when it comes to somebody fighting for their life with dealing with an accusation of a crime, I give them the benefit of the doubt because I know the law. I know the importance of that. So I can't give my opinion on that. Because at this time, this lo and behold unspent bullet is very, very questionable, and rightly so. So I'm gonna sign off today. Well, it's the nighttime, about 9 something, so I gotta upload this video. Good evening to all my subscribers, and thank you for subscribing.